Hello, traders, and welcome to the Friday wrap-up, July 3rd, 2015. Traders, great to be with you. Coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Bright blue, sunny skies, white sandy beaches, and yes, traders, it is very hot in Thailand today. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, today we have more than 16 daily charts we're going to review for you today. And we're talking about price action. That's what this is all about. Look at daily charts, price action, and what we can expect for the week ahead. Traders, again, great to be with you, and I'm glad you're with me. So let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilda. I am your moderator for the Friday wrap-up, which we do after the New York close. I started trading in the year 2006. In 2008, I retired from a wonderful 27-year career in fire rescue out of the great state of Florida. Traders, 9 days later, I came over to Thailand for a 3-month holiday to celebrate my ending of my 27-year career. Well, traders, it's 2015, and I'm still in Asia, and I'm still in Thailand. Absolutely loving it. It's a great time zone to begin to trade the Forex markets because, you know, Forex is 24 hours a day, and I can basically trade all 3 trading sessions and still get a good night's rest. And the only one that's short is my New York session. And that's because I also trade another instrument, so when I'm in New York, I'm not really looking at Forex, even though I would take a trade in Forex. But the problem is I don't like keeping trades overnight, so if I get into a trade, that means I'm going to be up past midnight. Not a good idea for me. Alright, traders, let's take a look at the legal stuff. This is a risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Most importantly, traders, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's do a little chatting. This is our commentary section where we talk about last week. I have to be perfectly honest with you. I don't even think I took a trade last week. This Greece thing is just off the handle, and what's happening is that people are getting in front of microphones and making comments, and ending up that we're not seeing that they know what they're talking about. And comment came out, I guess it was Tuesday or Wednesday of last week, and then turns out it wasn't true, and all the media went crazy with this, the markets went crazy. So every time somebody gets in front of a microphone, reference Greece, the markets are moving 30 or 40 pips in either direction. And if you're in a trade, you're gonna get, you're gonna get wiped out. You're gonna get stopped out, unless you have a 200 pip stop, which I'm sure there are people that do, and that's great. They stay in that trade and just stay with the trend. However, I'm not one of those people, so I said, is it worth risking my hard-earned equity to trade when you have all this volatility that markets spread all over the place, over Greece? But we should have some kind of direction and information by the end of the weekend as they vote for their referendum on Sunday. So it could be quite interesting. Monday, or our next Asia session, for those of you in the United States, it's actually Sunday evening where Asia starts. So it's going to be quite interesting. A little bit disappointing in NFP. Not that I care about the number. I was disappointed in the movement of the market. I think it came out at 221. They were expecting 237. And I guarantee you a lot of Forex brokers made some really nice money because I think everybody expected a very high number for jobs this month out of NFP, and we did not get that. And actually, last month was revised down to 287, I think it was. I'm sorry, 187. It was revised down, so that hit a niche in the market. However, my whole thing of this is that the currency pairs didn't really move a lot. I think one chart moved like 50 pips. most of the charts only moved 40 or 30 pips out of the data out of NFP. The good thing was unemployment in the United States went down 1/10, I think it was, something like that. So unemployment went down. That was good. That was good news. But the markets really didn't react a lot. Very little movement. Yeah, I don't trade NFP, by the way. Not that I'm against people trading NFP. I think it's a great idea if that's if you're a master trading data. But NFP is you just don't know what's going to happen. If you're wrong, it'll wipe you out in seconds. I mean, you won't have time to even get out of the trade. I mean, that's how quick. This news came out, and the markets moved like within 3 seconds. It moved 40 pips. So on charts, and I was watching 8 charts at one time. So, it is what it is. Commentary is that I think the dollar is basically staying the same. I don't see the dollar strengthening or weakening. I think it's just maintaining. And if I had to say, what do I see in the future? I see the dollar getting weaker, and the gurus out there are hinting that that's a possibility also, and that will be good for the markets. So we'll see how that works. But I don't see the dollar strengthening, and we'll talk about once we look at some dollar charts. So remember, all the charts we're looking at today are daily charts. That means every candle on the chart is 1 day. So why don't we get started? Let's start with the euro dollar. This is a euro. One thing I added on these charts, I put some Bollinger Bands in here. But if you take a look at this euro, it's sort of, if you really want to be honest about it, it's pretty ugly. It's sideways. A lot of these candles are indecision candles. However, Wednesday and Thursday, you can see that we had 2 dojis. I'm sorry, Thursday and Friday. I was thinking that New York was closed. New York was closed for 4th of July holiday in the United States. So there was no trading in New York. But, we closed with 2 up days, high highs and high lows. However, if you look at Thursday's candle, it's an indecision candle. And of course that was NFP, and that's why you had that. That's why you see that pullback, right? And then Friday, which was a weekday because the New York session, there was no New York trading. Really, it was a pretty weak day. Actually, I didn't even look at my charts on Friday, except doing my videos. That's about it. 200 EMAs far from price. So what am I expecting for this? Well, I'm expecting the euro to continue to be bearish, and all I want to do is I want to sell it, and that's how I look at it. We've got support down about 1.0855. We've got some pretty strong support down there, and at that point, we'll take a look at it. But that's pretty far away. But I'm looking for this, and I'm staying bearish. Let's take a look at the dollar Swiss. This is down, but look at how it's hovering at this 200 exponential moving average for days and days, right? This thing just loves that 200 exponential moving average. It always comes back to it and hangs out there. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But there was, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they lower their interest rates 10 basis points on Thursday? I think the Swiss lowered its interest rate 10 basis points. So I think that was a surprise, and it looks like it continued into Friday, and it just weakened it. Because we know the dollar is a lot stronger than the Swiss. So, you would expect to see blue candles, not red candles. But I think it's because they lowered their basis points, interest rate basis points. And I think that's what's going on with this. I don't trade this pair, to be honest with you. It's actually correlated to the euro dollar. Usually when one's going up, the other one's going down, and vice versa. So I don't trade this. If I'm going to trade one of them, I just trade the euro. But I don't trade this. I haven't looked at what the average daily range is on this. I absolutely prefer to trade the euro because it just has more volatility. And I don't like trading currency pairs that trade less than 80 pips a day or 90 pips a day. There's many websites out there that you can find that information out. There's actually indicators that you can have put on your charts, which will give you that information. If you're using MT4 or MT5, just Google it. You can get it for free off the web, and it'll be right on your chart. It'll tell you what the average daily range is. But like I said, I do an average of 4 weeks, and I like to see 80 to 100 pips before I trade that currency pair. Gives you room to work a little bit. Let's take a look at pound dollar. This pound dollar, this has surprised me. I have to be very honest with you. This came up all the way to resistance, took out previous resistance, you can see left of the chart, and basically has come back down. And if you look at this looks like an inverted head and shoulders, doesn't it? The bottom is the head, then you have a left shoulder and a right shoulder. But yeah, so this is pretty interesting. I was not expecting the pound to be this bearish. I was expecting this to continue to be bullish. So this week really took me by surprise that we're selling the pound dollar. I was really kind of shocked with that. Other thing to take note of is that look at the Bollinger Bands. The Bollinger Bands are like closing in on each other, and that's not a good sign on a daily chart when your Bollinger Bands are closing. So what do I expect to happen here? Well, I'm hoping that we get a bounce here. I'm hoping that we go into our new week with a bounce off the 200 exponential moving average, and it continues to the upside. A 200 EMA on a daily chart is pretty powerful, my friends. So, just keep that in mind. It's just very, very powerful. All right, let's take a look at one of my other favorite pairs to trade, and that is our Aussie dollar. This is our daily chart. Look at that chart on Friday. Really, really bearish. This is bearish. I mean, if you look at this spatially, spatial intelligence, you can tell that this is just a bearish pair. It's been bearish for a very long time. The next chart's even worse, really bearish. But this daily chart definitely goes a swing at it. And then you could see on Thursday when they did NFP, look at that doji, right? Came back down, and then came back up again and is retraced. And then Friday, look at this move, some pips on Friday. Surprisingly, being that New York was closed. But that was due to data, folks. Remember, this is a commodity pair. And when data comes out, the Aussie reacts. And we had data, I think it was retail sales, and it moved only like 25 pips, but it looks like it just continued for the rest of the day. It just kept going down. And that's what it looks like to me here, and that's what happened. However, I remain bearish on the Aussie dollar, and we'll just look for this to continue. We might get a correction candle, an update at some point, because these people are going to take profits at some point. And like I said, data comes out, and who knows what we're going to see when we open our charts on the next Asia session, because by that time, this Greece vote will be out and done. So we'll see. But as I look at the New Zealand dollar, this thing has just been absolutely beautiful to trade. I mean, man, don't you wish you were at resistance there and just sold that and just took a month, 2 months off and just let this thing go? This has just reacted so nice. This pair has been bearish for a long time, and it's in such a nice trending mode here. And there's nothing to say. We want to sell it. I have no intentions of buying the New Zealand dollar. We're just going to keep selling it. They had bad news come out last week. I have a news feed that I pay a pretty good amount of money for, but it's 24 hours a day, even on weekends. And they had their dairy report comes out once a month, and they had some really bad news on the dairy, their milk situation, the dairy situation. So they had some bad data come out, and that's really affected this last week. Not that that's what accounts for the other 60 days that we see on the chart, but they had some bad data come out last week, and this pushed it down farther. Let's take a look at the dollar CAD. I don't trade the loonie myself. It's not a bad pair to trade, but they call it the loonie for a reason. It's very erratic. You can see you got a bunch of up days, and then you get a bunch of down days, and you got a bunch of up days. And if you look left at the chart, it's not. It's definitely not in a trending mode there. It's sort of like all over the place, right? It's sort of like really not very pretty. but I don't trade the CAD, so I don't know much about its personality. But looking at this chart doesn't make me very excited to trade it. But again, we're talking about price action when we're looking at these charts today. And one of the things we're looking at is that this is now a resistance. It's been rejected, and you can see that it ended in an indecision candle on Friday. Now, bear in mind, we did not have a New York session on Friday, so we have issues here, right? So, I mean, if I was trading this chart, I would really be looking for a red candle coming out in our next Asia session to start our week off, and we would look for that. And remember, traders, I think it's next week. Earnings season starts, so that'll definitely impact our trading as earnings season come out, and both in the Euro stock market and the U.S. stock market and all that. So earnings comes out, and that should be an interesting 3 or 4 weeks of earnings. Let's take a look at the pound Aussie. I don't trade this, and funny enough, I used to trade it all the time. I enjoy trading it. Look at how nice this trends, right? I mean, the pound is a heck of a lot stronger than the Aussie, right? That's what you want, one strong in 1 week. And this thing is just moved so nicely to the upside. But for some reason, I don't know why, the spread on this is really like insane. And I don't know why. I don't understand why, but it is. The spread on the pound Aussie on my platform is very high. So I stopped trading it. It just wasn't worth it. So I don't trade it. But if you look at this chart, this is a beautiful forex chart, and I'd be excited. If you were looking to trade a decent pair. What am I looking for as far as next week goes? Listen, I'm looking for this to continue to the upside. You see we had the pullback on Friday. That's where we got that wick on the top of that candle. And I'd be looking for this to continue on to be bullish. I see no reason why not. Let's take a look at the Euro Aussie. I do trade this pair. This is a pretty ugly chart, to be honest with you. It's at resistance against. Look all the way left to the chart. Look at this, folks. Look all the way left to the chart, straight. And you can see this price level has been reacted to many times in the past. So it's either going to break this and close this above this level, or it's going to head back down again. But you can see it's been in a range for like a month, right? There's a lot of candles that's just been in a range. But remember, these are daily candles, so these are a lot of pips. This is not 5 and 6 pips, right? These are probably 60 pip, 80 pip, 90 pip candles. So you have to realize that we're looking at daily charts. But price action-wise, this is in a sideways range. And, if you were trading this, on a daily chart, I'd be looking to probably sell this come Tuesday. You don't want to really take action on a Monday, right? All right, let's take a look at the CAD yen. Little surprising. This is now closed below this 200 exponential moving average, and I think that's the whole key to this pair is that it's closed below it. And I'd be looking for a change of trend here. It was bullish and then went sideways, and now it's come all the way back down, and now it's closed on Friday below this 200 exponential moving average. So I would be looking to continue to the downside until it closes above that 200 again. So I'm bearish on this, believe it or not. Even though spatially, when you look at the chart, you'd say, well, William, this is really bullish. And I have to agree with you, but I just have this feeling this is going to continue to the downside. So we'll keep an eye on that. I don't trade this. It's not one of my 8 pairs that I trade, but it's fun to watch. Here's a Euro New Zealand. Just thought I'd throw this in because the New Zealand the Kiwi is so weak right now. And I just had to throw this chart in here because, I mean, just look at this price action on this. Is just fantastic Forex chart right here. This is what a Forex chart really makes you want to trade Forex. It doesn't go in a straight line. It moves in stairs, stair steps. And this is just a really nice chart here. Moving really nice. Again, you don't want to buy. You don't want to be buying the Kiwi. You don't want to be buying New Zealand dollar. You just don't want to be buying New Zealand Kiwi at all, right? But look at this Euro just really taking off. I haven't talked about the Swiss yen in quite a while. However, this is sideways, folks. However, if you look at it spatially, this is in a bullish motion, so I would expect this to continue to the upside. I think Thursday and Friday was a sell-off day, people taking profits, and I would expect this to continue to go bullish. So I would be looking to buy this pair coming in the week ahead. Here's another New Zealand yen. Take a look at this chart, right? I mean, this is just amazing, right? Just look at how weak the New Zealand is, and just look at this thing just absolutely dumps right on down here. It's just really beautiful, beautiful stuff. All right, here's the euro yen, which I trade regularly. It's one of my 8 pairs, and this, is a bearish pair, and it's had its up days there. What's that? 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and then it's slowly moving its way back down, and now it's sitting just at that 200 exponential moving average. So we just want to keep an eye on that, and but I would be looking to sell this. I'm not looking to buy this. I'm looking to sell this. I really don't have any. Not that I won't, but I'm not looking to be buying the euro. Now that might change come the end of Sunday after this referendum vote in Greece, because this pairs could really hit the big dumperoo here if however the market reacts, however this vote ends up. So it's going to be pretty interesting come our next Asia session when you open your charts. We might find some pretty big gaps. Here's an Aussie yen. This is a pair I do trade. Again, this was sideways for such a long time. However, look at right to the 200 exponential moving average, and down she goes. So I'd only be looking to sell this. I'm bearish in this pair. The only thing you gotta watch out for, though, is this is coming up to support. Take a look left of the chart there, and it's coming up to support. This really moved a lot on Friday. A lot of price action I noticed on some of these charts for a Friday. Pretty interesting, huh? Then let's go and talk about the beast, and that's, of course, pound yen. This is a bullish pair. Had a couple of down days. I don't know what happened with the pound, why the pound has all of a sudden gotten so weak. I haven't put it together yet, but we're working on it. And it's not that they're getting bad data, or bad numbers coming out. They're getting good numbers, so not quite sure what's going on. But this is a bullish chart, and I don't even want to buy this. Now it's at support. If you look left of the chart, this is at support. So I would expect to see a nice start of our week with a blue candle. So I would expect to see this to continue to the upside. So if you relate that down to 1 hour charts, or your 30-minute charts, or your 15-minute charts, depending on what you trade, you just want to keep in mind that. And that's why I use the daily charts. I use it as a tool. I don't trade the daily chart. The 200 exponential moving average is not of any essence here. So, don't have to worry about anything. Just, I use it as a tool. I look at a daily, a 4 hour, and a 1 hour, and I trade off a 30-minute on my live account. And that's how I do it. But out of those three, 2 of them have to be in unison. If I got a daily chart, I got a 4 hour chart, and they're not together, that's not good. That means there's a lot of indecision. So I take that into consideration. Folks, we need to talk about the dollar index. This is the dollar index chart. And you can see here now the dollar was strong and is now continuing back to the upside. However, look at that top Bollinger Band right on top of price. So it looks like the dollar is going to continue to stay strong. We'll see what happens when earnings season starts. And I think it's next week, not this week coming up, the week after, 2 weeks away. I think it starts like the 13th, which is a Monday. I think that starts earnings season. So that could change this dollar picture a lot. So we'll see how that works out and how this stays strong or not. And the other instrument that I trade, I'm very interested to know where the dollar's at. Traders, I really want to thank you for joining me. I know this was a long video, coming up on 25 minutes. So on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, thank you for joining me for the Friday wrap-up. And we'll see you on Monday for the market opening preview every single trading day before 11 o'clock. Traders, have a great weekend. Enjoy your time. friends, loved ones, family, and even your neighbors. On that note, traders, have a great one, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.